Hello everyone. So this is the summary of the poem The Next War by Wilfred Owen. So these are the important points. This poem is a sonnet written in 1917 in the mid of the First World War. Owen refers to Siegfried Sassoon's poem A Letter Home in the epigraph of his poem. The theme of the poem is that the horrors and the violence in the war and the constant presence of death in the lives of the soldiers. The speaker also questions the necessity of wars and expresses his anti-war sentiments in the poem. The poet wrote this poem when he was getting treatment in hospital for a post-traumatic stress disorder. The poem exposes the psychological trauma of the soldiers fighting in the wars. So this is the text of the poem. War is a joke for me and you, while we know such dreams are true. Siegfried Sassoon. Out there we have walked quite friendly up to death, sat down and eaten with him, cool and bland, pardoned his peeling mastins in our hand. We have sniffed the green thick odour of his breath, our eyes wept, but our courage didn't writhe. He has spat at us with bullets and his cuffed shrapnel. We chorused when he sang aloft. We whistled while he shaved us with his scythe. So when the poem opens, we see actually the poem opens with an epigraph taken from Siegfried Sassoon's poem A Letter Home. In these lines, poet says that wars are meaningless. He believes that dream of peace while living at home is real. Then the poem starts. Next, the speaker says that for the soldiers, death is a companion because they constantly feel the presence of death while serving in the wars. These soldiers treat death as their companion, as their friend. They feel like as if they have even sat and eaten their meals in the presence of death. Now they are not terrified of death, but they consider death to be a normal occurrence in their lives. Now they consider death to be their fellow comrade. They forgive death when death spills their food containers into their hands. These soldiers can even feel the repelling breath of death, which is green and poisonous. Here, the speaker makes reference to the poisonous gases used in the wars, which make the soldiers weep. But still, these soldiers don't lose their courage and keep fighting tirelessly in the wars. They feel death when bullets and shrapnel come towards these soldiers. Still, they remain strong before death and serve as a chorus to the song of death. They sing and whistle even when death flies over them and cuts them with his scythe. Scythe is a curving blade. Oh, death was never enemy of ours. We laughed at him. We leagued with him, old chum. No soldiers paid to kick against his powers. We laughed, knowing that better man would come, and greater wars. When each proud fighter brags, he wars on death, for lives, not men, for flags. So here speaker says that death was never the enemy of the soldiers, although the soldiers treat personified death as their companion. These soldiers do not get paid to consider death to be their enemy. These soldiers know that wars will continue to happen and other soldiers who would be better than them would continue to join wars and would continue to fight in the wars. Next speaker says that proud soldiers can boast that they fight against death to save the lives of others, but the reality is that they are only fighting for their national interests, for their national flag. Okay? And here the poem ends.